Hey everyone, it's Roxy Horror. I am here today to talk to you about the movie Braindead. Um, so this was my first time watching the movie. It was also called Dead Alive, Braindead or Dead Alive. But essentially, this movie is just schlocky fun. I quite enjoyed it actually. So, I mean, I enjoyed it enough to give it a higher rating than the movie Zombie that I watched a few earlier on this week. But I mean, it's nowhere near some of the movies. Like, it's nowhere near 28 weeks later. Um, it's just fun. I have some dumb fun with it, and I appreciate it for what it is. Definitely not the best made movie out there. But it does have some um it does have some pretty good gore. It There's one scene that I'll talk about later that just kind of stood out from the rest, and it kind of paid homage to a another movie that I'll talk about. But that's just the overall review. I'll give a score later on, but I wanted to start before I get into what I liked and disliked about the movie. I just want to make sure everyone knows that this video is going to contain spoilers. So if you have not seen this movie and you want to watch it, please turn this off. Go watch it. Then come back to me and listen to what I have to say about it. If you like shocky fun, go watch the video. That's all I gotta say. All right. So we're gonna get into what I liked about the movie. I had fun with it. It was a fun movie. I loved the comedy. Um, it was just so it was fun. It was a fun movie. Um, this was, I think, one of the movies that did it well. There's some movies that have done it well in the past, but um, putting a love story in with a horror movie, um, it worked. It worked in this, and I liked that aspect of it. There are movies out there where the love story just doesn't make sense. Like, for example, Dawn of the Dead, the remake. Like, come on, man. The that romantic stuff did not need to be in there. But yeah, it kind of reminded me the story kind of reminded me of Little Shop of Horrors, where this girl is, I mean, it's the opposite role, right? So the girl is chasing after the guy. But I really enjoyed the way that they blended that in with the comedy and the horror. It really did work for me. So that's good. And yeah, the humor that was mixed in, it reminded me there was a lot there was a lot in there that reminded me of the Evil Dead series, especially when he's got the lawnmower and he's just tearing through zombies. I mean, that scene was brilliant. I loved that scene. And he's just, I mean, and then it stops and he has to start it again. And I don't know, it really reminded me of like Ash just going after, you know, undead uh beings, or like, what are they called? Anyway, Yeah, just remind me of Ash. But yeah, so that was, and his eyes when they get huge in that scene, I was like, dude, you're Ash. Like, this is this universe's version of Ash. So that was pretty cool. The lawn mowing scene was just, oh my god, it was my favorite scene in the movie. It was so good. And there's one scene that is more memorable than that, but for the opposite reason. I did not like that scene. But I'll get into that later. The makeup was so well done. Like the mom when her skin is coming off and stuff. I mean, it did not look like cake like it did in Zombie. Like that was definitely that movie. The entire movie belonged in an Everything Is Cake compilation, but this one, it just looks so realistic. So kudos for that. The makeup was really well done. Yeah, so I guess I'll go into what I disliked about this movie. The story was kind of bland. It was like, I guess it was the original chimp disease that now is affecting people. 28 days later, kind of stole that idea from them, but they did it better. So, I mean, I guess it was just kind of bland, even though they mixed in a lot of good elements together. The story just didn't really hit me as hard. Um, the love story was kind of cheesy at times. Other times it was really great, but like I don't know. There were kind of cheesy moments in there where I was just like, ugh, cringe. Like, ugh, yeah, it's not for me. But for the most part, I did enjoy the mix of the love story because it moved the plot forward. Um, Even though the plot, I mean, it just felt like a bunch of different movies all put together that I've already seen before, that kind of thing. Except they did it in a less appealing way, I guess, is what I can say about that. All right, we're gonna go into this scene. I actually almost puked, and I never get nauseous during movies. Like, I might fake, like, gag or whatever, or just be like, ugh, or whatever, but I never actually mean it. But this time, I legitimately almost puked. Um, it was when the mom's skin is falling off, and it falls into the custard, and, like, her blood goes in there. She like, I guess like something pops on her face and like the blood is in there. I had to turn away. It was disgusting. And the guy's just like eating the custard with all of her shit in it and putting it in his mouth. And I was just like, oh my God, this is the grossest thing. And it went on forever. Like it didn't stop. And every time I turned and looked at it, it was like, so yeah, that was just not for me. Yeah, and I rarely get squeamish like that during movies. I can watch Art the Clown go after people and I'm fine, but this was next level gross. Where like, oh God, and he's like, this is the best custard I've ever had, and I was just, oh my God, I was not having it. I was getting sick. I was just, oh God, it was bad. But yeah, and then some of the scenes were like, I guess they were doing things that I feel like was, I guess it was just, I don't even know how to say this. they were really obscene, these scenes. And I think it was just it was in poor taste. I see where they were going with it, but I think they could have, like, you know, done something a little better with it. I don't know. One of the scenes in particular was when the nurse and the priest were just, like, having sex on the table, and they're both dead. They're both zombies at this point. But it's like, I don't know. It was so obscene and ridiculous that it kind of took me out of what was happening. And I get it was supposed to be humorous and stuff, but, like, I don't know. It was just a little too obscene. Um and they did it again later on. I think they both were, like, stabbed through each other. And they're just having sex while this thing is, like, stuck through them. So basically skewered them together. And that was kind of humorous, actually, but I mean, it just it was a little, that was a little obscene to me. The especially with the kitchen table and him coming in and having to, like, break them up and everything like that was just, it was ridiculous. And then the fact that she has a zombie baby and it's basically a toddler. Like, it's walking around um and killing people, and, like, everything that has to do with the baby was just a little much. And I think they had to, like, throw him in a blender, and I don't know. It was just so ridiculous when they were in the kitchen, like, throwing body parts in the blender and just, like, oh my god. And this baby, like, when they're out, when he first, like, escapes, I guess, and the main guy is coming after him, and he's got, like, a sack, and he puts the baby in it and just starts beating it on the ground, and people are looking at him, and I was like, oh my god. If I were one of those people, I would be calling child services. Oh man, it was a lot. um and, like, it was humorous, but also it was just, like, it was a little over. It was a little too much. It was a little too much in poor taste. Um so and don't get me wrong, I do like comedy, and, like, obscene comedy. So I'm not a prude. I'm not whatever. It was just, I felt like it was done in poor taste. Like, it just didn't hit the way that it should have. Please comment down below if you agree with me. I could be on an island here, but that just, to me, it was just a lot of, like, comedy that didn't really hit for me. Some of it did. So, as I said, in the things that I liked, like, some of this comedy was hilarious and I was laughing, but there were other times where it was just too obscene that I was like, I don't even understand why this is happening. Like, what the fuck is going on? So yeah, I mean, all in all, I did have some schlocky fun with this guy. It's not a movie to take seriously by any means. So if you're watching a movie to get scared or whatever, this probably isn't the one. It's just fun. It's kind of like a B version of Zombieland. Like, if you were to make Zombieland in, like, the 80s with poor, just a B movie. Like, that's what it felt like, and a less put together plot. Like, that's basically what you're getting. But I mean, all in all, it wasn't terrible. I had fun with it, even though I know it's a bad movie. Like, I had a good time. I gave it an overall rating of 2.5 out of 5. I would have given it a 3, but that scene with the custard, no, thank you. No, it was awful. But anyway, yeah, the next movie I'm gonna do is actually the second Zombieland, the double tap. So that is going to be my next review. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel. Also, like the video and comment below. It helps get our content out there. And I hope you like these reviews. We have a playlist with all of these reviews listed in them. So if you want to go back and see what we've done so far, it is in a playlist on our page. So yeah, on our channel, just go search the playlist and you'll find it. This is the 31 on 31. We're doing Cody Leach's list. And yeah, so stay spooky, guys. Thanks.